This mutation is called Dead Heat and is displayed on the Vermillion Problem. We have 3 mutators active, we have Fatal Attraction, we have Self-Destruction, and we have Walking Infested. And what is this? It is not Tutu who's soloing a mutation, instead it is Grover. So yeah, Tutu has soloed this mutation, but I did get this submission from Grover as well, so I thought, we'll give other people a chance to flex their mutation soloing muscles here. So let us have a look at the Masteries. We have 30 points into the Structure HP Mastery, 30 points into the Repair Beam Mastery, and 30 points into the Spear of Fidun Energy Mastery. Karax is going to be playing the P3 Prestige. So they've pretty much taken they've taken the simple way of dealing with this mutation, which is basically, as what I'll be expecting, is just don't deal with the Fatal Attraction Mutator. This Fatal Attraction Mutator is by far one of the most annoying mutators to deal with, and part of the reason I think people don't like this mutator very much is because it cancels commands that have been issued to your units. So if you have if you have a combat unit which has a command that has been issued to it, say an Ascendant, and you want to, cast the Mind Blast ability, for example, if you hit Fatal Attraction, if Fatal Attraction hits it, then it loses all commands that have been issued to it, and it just stands there doing nothing. And it's just generally a very frustrating unit to play with. So you can see over here what Karax is doing right now is he's just putting a little bit of static defense just to be able to deal with some of the nastiness that'll be coming his way. So we'll see what the enemy composition is, but the probe is going to be making his way here, and this probe is probably going to end up dying, but you can see we are dealing with the Protoss composition, and this is exactly where the problems arise. The one Stalker now has been a little bit interested here, but very nice control there from the probe, just running away from the Stalker and actually allowing Karax to pick it off as well, which is pretty good. So remember, there is also Walking Infested active here, so there's going to be, is there going to be counter? Okay, this is actually a really creative way of dealing with this. There is a little bit of a tower push here, and again, this Stalker will end up dying. And one of the things that makes Karax so good is that his P3 Prestige actually allows him to regenerate Spear of Energy really, really fast, but it's not really the regeneration that's affected by that prestige. It's the fact that, like, you seem to flow a lot of energy and you think you're actually regenerating a lot of Spirit Dude. What actually happens is that the cost reduction of these cooldowns is really, really good and just makes things so much more worth it, and just allows you to spam your abilities a lot more frequently than you would normally be able to do so. And you can see here this Photon Cannon almost dying, but ends up surviving here, and it'll eventually regenerate its shields as well. So pretty good use here on the Spear of Fidun, and that Repair Beam doing a lot of work in keeping the Photon Cannon alive. So what do we have in production? We have the Repair Beam coming up right now, the Advanced Repair Systems upgrade. This will improve the Repair Beam's ability to heal these units, and it looks like it's going to be mostly a tower pushing kind of build here for Karax. He's not going to be going for very many combat units, which is fine. And in terms of the expansion, I don't know if Karax will eventually also add an expansion to the mix. He probably will want to do that at some point, but so far so good. He's sitting at 133 Spear of Fidun energy so far, and he's not having any. He's not going to have any kind of shortages here. Now, the one thing you will have to pay attention to when you are playing with P3 Karax is the change in tempo for his transitioning up through the tech tree, and as he actually climbs that tech tree, the lack of any of the chrono abilities is a very, very big thing for Karax here. And you can see there's the first attack wave here. I think this Photon Cannon is going to end up going down. Yeah, that Photon Cannon does end up going down. Repair Beam unfortunately did get a little bit overwhelmed there, but yeah, what I was talking about was the change in tempo between P3 Karax and, pretty much any normal Protoss commander. He has access to none of the chrono abilities. This includes the Chrono Wave, the Chrono Field, which is the passive that he has. So this is the Chrono Field, which is also missing. And he also does not have the Chrono Boost from his Nexus. So he doesn't have any of those chrono abilities, and that does significantly reduce his ability to climb that tech tree really quickly, and it significantly increases his ramp up time. And usually the way you play Karax with that is you rely on your Spirit of Dune abilities as you are as Karax is doing over here. It's basically pretty much a call down solo play at the start of the game, and eventually you'll have enough time. And eventually when you go through the later stage of the mission, you'll have enough. You'll be able to pretty much do what you need to and build the army units that you need out. Unfortunately, the solar lances will make this minimap disappear, so I'll keep bringing it back over the course of time, but my apologies for that. Yeah, overall, Karax is doing pretty well. He did lose a probe over there because of the Fatal Attraction Mutator. There's pretty much nothing you can do. That's what makes Fatal Attraction such a fun and interactive mutator in the game. But his expansion has been taken right now, so that will provide him with the economy that he needs. And remember, this is a mutation solo, so he is not allowed to take his allies expansion, which is non-existent, or the expansion from the... Or the second expansion in the expansion area, so he has to be a little careful over here as well. A probe getting poked around a little bit, so some cannons over here as well being utilized to provide a little bit of vision. That Void Ray has taken an interest in Karax versus probe right now, and that Void Ray will end up going down too. Again, he has to be very, very careful with that. With that probe is... Oh, that probe actually... I thought the probe was a goner, but that probe ended up surviving. It's a very, very annoying and very difficult mutant. It's not a difficult mutator, it's just an annoying mutator to deal with again. So there's an attack wave here. This time Karax was paying attention and he will not be taken by surprise with that attack wave. And Karax has actually cleared that attack wave right now. So there are 2 more of these crystals over here that Karax is going to be sending some probes in to get a little bit of positioning here. I would probably drop a pylon here and just sacrifice a pylon because time is of the essence over here. So he's going to be able to pick that one up. I think he might have gotten a little bit lucky on the spawn here. I think this is one... Yeah, okay. So he's actually gotten kind of lucky here. The attack wave is actually over here. There isn't the harass wave for those crystals are actually like they're a little bit far behind here. They're over here somewhere, and now they would have moved up the ramp here. So Karax did get a little bit lucky, but very good use of the Purifier Beam. I'll try and show you guys that on the next time he uses the Purifier Beam. And what he basically did is drop the Purifier Beam and sent it on the high ground, and then use his Spear of Dune to actually pick off high value targets, so either solar lances or his orbital strikes. So what you can do is just shift move command instead of attack command. So shift move command and just queue up a set of a path for your Purifier Beam. I do not know where the attack wave... I think that was basically for dealing with the attack wave. But basically what he did is shift move command the Purifier Beam, and then with the Purifier Beam given a path, he can use his other call down to try and take that out. Yeah, that was the attack wave I was talking about. It just went up to try and attack Karax here. But there's another attack wave over here that needs to be dealt with. Karax has put down 1 photon cannon to stall, but those zealots are going to start attacking that photon cannon. The photon cannon might end up going down, so there's another photon cannon over here. What I would actually like to see is maybe a few shield batteries being added, just to tank a little bit more for these photon cannons. Like, there are very few minimal losses here. Like I said, Vermillion Problem isn't a particularly difficult map to play on. It's fairly chill. But I would like to see a few shield batteries added to the mix here to make it a little bit easier. Also, queuing up these abilities right now, these things are important upgrades to get. So the Solar Flare and the Phase Detonation upgrades, but you should probably not queue up these upgrades all the way because they're just locking your resources down. Even that being said, he's not really stressed for resources. He does seem to be fooling a little bit, but it's usually better to not queue up the upgrades and get into the habit of, paying attention to the audio cues when your upgrades are completed. That'll help to play a little bit more efficiently when it comes to your to your resource utilization there. We have another probe over here. I'm not sure. Okay, I think the probe wants to go and set up for Molten Cell here, which I guess is fine. These crystals are also safe. They will not disappear on the Lava Surge, so far so good. But Karax will need to speed up a little bit when it comes to picking up the rest of these crystals because there are 3 harass waves over here that need to be dealt with by Karax. But there's just some random probes here as well. They're just trying to mine right now. But this Kaidaran Monolith will eventually work its way here. I have also... one thing that Karax can also do is just spam his Spear of Dune on this Molten Cell. Like, you're not in really much in a hurry right now, so there's no reason to do so. But you can definitely just spam your orbital strikes and take out Molten Cell whenever you're ready to try and clear the mission out. So that is also not important. Now, we have another set of crystals that have spawned. This one's on the low ground, so this one will have to be prioritized by Karax. This one is on the high ground, and this one I am pretty sure is also on the high ground, so that is going to also be safe. So Karax should prioritize this crystal, and he's sitting at 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the timer. So Karax is going to be sending that probe over here to deal with that right now. Yeah, so that was the audio cue I was talking about, the research complete audio cues. Like, try and pay attention to that. It'll help you utilize your resources a little bit more effectively. And of course, there's like, nope, you are not going to do that. Probe is pretty much going to end up dying. But I think that set of solar lances has completely cleared out all the things here. And there we go. So this is the purifier being utilized here. I don't think he's actually using the orbital strikes here. So yeah, what you can do is shift move command your purifier beam to get vision, and then just use your orbital strikes to pick units off, and you'll find that the purifier beam providing vision for you will just allow you to clear so much more effectively. Now we have a set of carriers over here, but orbital strikes have been used to take out that attack wave, which is really good. And the one crystal that is at the risk of being lost has actually been saved, and now we have carriers being used here for Karax. He's going to be finally going up for his carriers. The carrier might actually need to go and help, or maybe a few more solar orbital strikes to start working away here. His carriers are actually really strong as well. There is a bug that exists with one of the carrier's upgrades. It's the where is it? It's the Graviton Warp Catapult upgrade. This upgrade here. The Graviton Warp Catapult upgrade says it increases the attack by a certain amount, the attack speed by a certain amount, but actually it is bugged, and Blizzard has the calculation for that is wrong basically, and Blizzard has has set the upgrade to be a lot stronger than it actually says it is. So I think what it is like it's giving a 33% increase in attack speed or something like that, which is absolutely insane, but that makes the carriers actually really strong and very competitive as units. But notice here what Karax has done is he has utilized his Spear of Fidun to carry himself in the early stage of the game, and then he's going to be using his carriers now in the later stage of the game. And I do not know, that probe is probably going to end up being lost here. Unfortunately, those sentinels were also sitting on the low ground there, and those sentinels will end up going down. So far, the losses are not significant. Like, as long as, you know, the carriers aren't being lost and blasted out of the sky, that is fine. And this is going to be an air composition here, so Fleet of the Matriarch. So pretty nasty composition if you're playing Zagara, for example. But now we have another set of crystals that is here, so 3 more crystals over here, and this carrier is slowly working away over here. So we're going to see how Karax is going to be dealing with this. Molten Cell setting at about 50% HP so far. So we have a couple more carriers joining into the mix, and all is good for Karax. So what do we have in terms of upgrades here? So yeah, we have Karax wants to add some sentinels to the mix here. I don't know if sentinels would be worth doing, because the sentinels are just going to end up dying to the self-destruction mutator combined with the fatal attraction. But you know, sentinels can be used as a mineral dump. What I would probably do over here is just use shield batteries plus just carriers here to just deal with this. You can see these carriers doing a reasonably good job, taking a lot of damage here from the self-destruction, but again, their repair drones are doing also a lot of work here. And here we have a purifier beam that's being moved over here. Again, I would probably move a probe closer here so you can utilize this, but the goal here for Karax is just use a purifier beam to clear out this set of harass waves here, so you can go pick up these crystals, which is actually not a bad idea because he is actually running out of time. So we have 3 probes that are going to be sent here to try and pick this up. 1 random sentinel over here. There is 1 zealot here, I think, that was parked over here. I think Karax might have cleared that out as well, but yeah, Karax will need to hurry up here before the next lava surge. We have a few more carriers coming up. Yeah, lava surge is coming up right now. I think Karax has reached a point in the mission where he has a good number of carriers and he has a good amount of pushing power here. But as long as those probes do not end up being lost to... Oh, go up. Yeah, they saw some angry zealots over here. That one Phoenix being a little bit annoying. And I think some of those probes may end up dying. Yeah, 1 probe ended up dying to the self-destruction mutator. I think what happened is it got slapped by the walking infested, And that carrier, unfortunately, does end up going down. You have to be very careful on the Vermillion Problem. You have to be very careful on this map. Your carriers are tanky, but they are not invincible. So far, one carrier has been lost, unfortunately, to the little lava burst over here. So finally, Molten Cell has gone down. I saw the ground shaking as well, so I think he probably ended up using the... Yeah, this mini-map annoying. This mini-map thing disappearing is kind of annoying here. But yeah, you can see the interceptors are also causing a problem here for Karax. And Karax is actually running really low on dev, so he needs to actually hurry up there. So we have 120 seconds left on the timer. That probe has actually missed the environmental save. Okay, there you go. And that is pretty good. So he does buy himself a little bit more time. Now these carriers will start pushing in and they'll be able to clear out these phoenixes and stuff. There is a hybrid dominator. Hybrid dominator is going to be a little bit upset with these carriers. But focus down from the Spear of Adun on that hybrid dominator, that ends up taking all of that out. And you can just see how difficult it is because these carriers still get pulled away. The interceptors being a little bit annoyed as well, but eventually these carriers will end up healing themselves. Repair drones are actually doing a lot of work as well. The repair drones do not heal the carriers when the carriers are in motion. If the carriers are standing still, these repair drones will be able to heal these carriers up, and that actually does help keep these carriers alive as well. So Karax is sitting at 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the timer. 2 more probes have been sent out to pick up 2 more crystals. So Karax is actually clawing his way back in this mission. We have now a few more attack wave, harass waves over here. And again, these carriers are going to be taking a little bit of damage over here. But unfortunately, wow, actually, how many carriers were lost over there? Karax actually lost 3 carriers over there. That is kind of unfortunate over here. And now there's a Purifier Beam, and I think the rest of these carriers might end up dying. Their self-destruction deals an insane amount of damage, and that is completely inhumane. All those carriers have died due to self-destruction. You have to be very careful there with Fatal. This is exactly the problem with Fatal Attraction. The reason why like those carriers ended up dying, there's another attack wave here, but Karax has, I think, gotten this under control to some semblance. And I think these carriers are going to start attacking a little bit more. But yeah, the reason why Karax lost those carriers to Fatal Attraction is it's not the self-destruction that was triggered when he killed the enemy units. It's the self-destruction that was triggered from the Infested that spawned from the enemy units that ended up dying. So that's what actually got Karax's carriers killed there. So it really stings because P3 Karax is a very slow commander to ramp up, so if you end up losing all those units, it's going to take you a very long time to build those carrier counts again. But that is basically how Fatal Attraction works. So we have 3 more crystals that have spawned so far. And Karax is, what is Karax's completion rate at? Oh, I can't actually even show this because completion doesn't actually show up here because it is a Guru map. But this one carrier will end up going down. And this is the other thing as well with Fatal Attraction, because you're dealing with an air composition. The carriers will attack your probes. Your cannons will kill off the interceptors. The interceptors will trigger Fatal Attraction, and they will pull your probes off your mineral line, and therefore now you have no economy. So very frustrating set mutators to deal with here, but Karax doing okay here. Unfortunately, he did end up losing all his entire army due to Fatal Attraction, because Fatal Attraction is fun and interactive, but he does have 3 more carriers coming into position here to get a little bit of vision, and we have some Sentinels here as well. So Sentinels want to push up in this area, which is actually a good idea, because there are 3 crystal spawns over here. There is a lot of harass wave here as well, so the Sentinels will have to be a little bit careful. I think those Sentinels will end up dying. I think this carrier, I don't think this carrier is going to end up surviving. It's just impossible. Those carriers just end up getting pulled off here. That carrier also is pretty much a goner unless it manages. Sorry, it's not going to survive there. So unfortunately, all these carriers have died. There is a lot of inhumanity, and you thought Raynor and Menx were inhumane commanders. Karax is showing that he too can be inhumane. And again, these Sentinels do end up dying. So far, 10 carriers have died and 12 Sentinels. This is somewhat unfortunate over here. But again, there is a lot of enemy stuff here. And Karax is trying to actually take out these hybrids, but He is running out of Spear for Dude energy. I think he's pretty much maxed out. Yeah, he's at solar efficiency level 3 here. So this Sentinel is trying to survive, but I don't know if it will. No, it does not. Those infested units do end up killing off that Sentinel finally. But I think all the high HP units and high supply units have died, so the Fatal Attraction and Walking Infested should be a little bit less nasty. One thing to note about Fatal Attraction is that the strength of the Fatal Attraction and the stun time, I want to call it the stun time, it's not really a stun time, but the stun time of the Fatal Attraction is dependent on the supply cost of the unit that is being killed and triggering the Fatal Attraction mutators. So, for example, a random infested unit will not trigger Fatal Attraction for very long, but if it's a hybrid, it's actually a very, very long pull. So, do bear that in mind. I think there is a scout there that will end up killing that probe off. I did notice that I think one unit may have been left over there. Yeah, so that scout will end up killing off that probe, which is somewhat unfortunate. There's an attack wave coming in, also on the eastern side of the map, but that attack wave looks like it will probably move up towards Karax's main base. But finally, he has managed to pull his forces over here and clear that out. Okay, that attack wave is actually moving towards the expansion, so Karax will have to address this. He will have a solo lance available, so one set of solo lances should be able to clear this all out without any problems, but I think the carrier might end up dying. Oh, it's getting pulled back, and oh no, unfortunately the carrier does end up dying as well. This is completely inhumane, but these 3 probes have picked up now their next set of crystals, so this is also pretty good. There's also one more probe over here, so that's 4 crystals already done, and just waiting for them to be deposited here. Karax will have to hurry up as well. He is running really, really close on time, but these 2 Stargates will end up going down too. And let me see if I can pull up the mission objectives. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he's sitting at 16 out of 20. So those are the last set of crystals that need to be sent to the environmental stabilizer. So as long as Karax doesn't lose these probes, he should be fine. I think he also, like, given the since I was talking about like how low time pressure is on this mission, I think even if he lost these 3 probes, I think he'd still have enough time to get his crystals deposited in, and he's sending that one carrier again, and this carrier is so dead. This carrier knows that it is going to die. It's like there are a lot of scouts here. Fatal Attraction is going to pull it in, and then the carriers are going to start focusing this down. Yeah, that carrier just completely evaporated. And we have another carrier over here, but this one will survive. There are a few scouts over here, some sentinels taking a little bit of inhumanity as well, but I think all in all, okay. But yeah, a total of 12 carriers have died in this, but Vermillion Prime has been saved, and that is GG.